Businessman Alfred Woyome is demanding that Attorney General Maretta Brew-Appiah resigns. Mr. Woyome claims she and her clients received $1 million of the same judgment debt she seeks to criminalize and jail him for. According to a letter intercepted by Joe News and addressed to the Attorney General, the law firm Letha Brew & Co., in which the Attorney General is a partner, demanded to be paid over $1 million on behalf of her clients after Woyome secured the judgment debt. Woyome claims the Attorney General is a beneficiary of the same fruit she seeks so hard to taint. But the Attorney General is denying any wrongdoing and insists she is not resigning and she has the full support of the President. This is today's big story. The appeal against Woyome has taken a different twist as he claims the Attorney General has no moral basis to pursue him for a judgment debt in which her law firm benefited from. Woyome, in her letter written to the Attorney General, copied to the Secretary to the President and Chief of Staff, claims the law firm Letha Brew & Co. demanded $1 million on behalf of her clients, which was duly paid. The letter also claimed the law firm represented other directors of Empower Park and Austro Invest. We're trying to get a better understanding of exactly what is happening, and we're trying to raise Maretta Brew-Appiah on the telephone for this conversation. If you're watching, this is today's big story, and the top story is that businessman Alfred Woyome is demanding that the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana resigns as Attorney General, as she has no moral basis to pursue him for 51 million Ghana cedis judgment debt he received as default judgment some time ago. Mr. Woyome was discharged and acquitted of the offenses against him by a high court, and the Attorney General is appealing against the decision. But Mr. Woyome has written to the Attorney General, copied to the Office of the President and the Chief of Staff, demanding that Maretta Brew-Appiah resigns as the Attorney General, as her law firm Letha Brew & Co. received $1 million from Woyome as part of the judgment debt which he secured. We've been trying to raise onto the telephone line the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana. We'll be also speaking to lawyers. Lawyer Abraham Amaliba, who is a private legal practitioner, has agreed to speak to us, and we'll be getting him on the telephone. We'll also be speaking to a former Attorney General, Mr. Ayikwe Otu, who also will be speaking to us. Let's get onto the telephone lines now and speak to Maretta Brew-Appiah, who is Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana. Good evening, Madam, and thanks for your time. Well, I think we're trying hard to get Maretta Brew. We'll take a short break here and we'll be right back. This is today's big story. Welcome back to today's big story. We've been trying to raise Maretta Brew-Appiah, Attorney General, onto the line. We're not getting him, but she's not answering her telephone. But we do have an exclusive interview with her, with news editor Israel Lai. We'll be trying to get that interview for you very soon. Now, on the line now, I have former Attorney General Mr. Ayikwe Otu. Good evening, sir, and thanks for your time. I apologize that we could not quickly send you the document in time for you to digest before our interview because of some technical challenges we have. But I am curious in finding out, as Office of the Attorney General, if such a letter comes to the Attorney General's department, is there a legal basis for which somebody who is standing trial for one thing or the other could demand the resignation of an Attorney General on any grounds?
A very interesting question. I mean, ordinarily, the Constitution mandates the Attorney General to do prosecutions on behalf of the Republic, and therefore that is their duty. We are aware that she, by executive instrument, has authorized some other persons apart from the Ghana Police Service to also prosecute on behalf of the Republic. So, yes, she has a duty, and she can't continue to perform the duty in accordance with the Constitution. This is a different angle altogether. The person who is demanding the resignation is saying that there is a conflict of interest situation.
That's right.
And that this lady had worked in an office before, a law firm, which firm had benefited from the judgment debt, payment saga. And it does not see the moral basis for the person to now describing the said payment as lawful and illegal.
That's
it
right.
is from that point of view that he is saying that there appears to be some conflict. Having benefited from the same judgment debt, a whopping $1 million US, how do you now turn around and say that money was illegally paid to him? So I think that is where he is coming from.
Right. I'll quickly, for the benefit of our audience, read portions of the documents which Woyome wrote. Woyome says that in as much as I'm not against the decision of the states to appeal, I am particularly against your conduct and public utterances during the trial and after the judgment. He continues, I find it difficult to reconcile your decision to involve yourself directly in this criminal case and notice of appeal you have authorized to be issued and served on me. It is a fact that you and your clients received approximately $1 million equivalent in Ghana cedis from the said judgment debt you now much criminalize and want me jailed for. The cedi equivalent was 1.474393 million paid through an agricultural development bank with check number 727324 dated 06/10/11 in the joint names of Ray and Ingleboth Smith. Now, the letter continues further, among others, that the law firm Letha Brew and Co. actually represented some directors of Empower Park and Osro Invest. I mean, where I believe that Ray and Ingleboth Smith are all part of that company, which was represented by this law firm. So the Attorney General has said in an interview with Asempa FM that she did no wrong. Is there a chance to suggest that perhaps even though she was a partner in this firm, she didn't directly benefit from this $1 million as the money may have been paid to her clients?
Well, I see this as very, very, very problematic. You are a partner. You said Letha Brew, so she's a partner in that firm, and they work together. Of course, I mean, the master of chambers could, in certain circumstances, handle certain cases alone. Although the letterhead or the chamber's name reads Letha Brew, it could have been Letha himself acting. But I thought I heard later on one of your sister radio stations saying that they have never represented Woyome and that they have only done cases against him. In other words, what Woyome is also trying to say is that if you knew the amount was tainted with some fraud, then why did you come taking part of that money? I think that's the issue that is raising. As to whether the Attorney General benefited directly from the $1 million or that it was his senior in chambers who handled the matter, the fact still remains that it was those chambers that handled this matter and where the amount was paid to their client. If in Woyome's opinion, this was not money that was clean, then why did they choose to get part of that money and then for you to turn around and prosecute him for what you now find to be fraudulent payment of a money you found was so okay that you did collect monies on behalf of your client, and perhaps not that the entire $1 million went to them as legal fees, but it went to their clients, and therefore they might have been paid from that fee, maybe a 10% or something, I don't know. Something might have been paid to them. These are the issues that he is facing, and I'm saying that it's problematic because you find yourself as the Attorney General, and the prosecution must be done in your name. So how do you stay out and say that I'm not going to take part in what is happening when the president, your chief executives and others have directed you to go ahead and ensure that the money is collected as Supreme Court ordered, and the gentleman is also prosecuted? So you find yourself in that kind of ambivalent situation, if you like, which creates a kind of a conflict of interest situation. Your clients are benefited from that money. You chase that money on the understanding that it was clean, there was nothing wrong. It was money that has been paid, properly by a court order. Now you stand around and you are saying that the money is worthless. It's mind-boggling. It's a little bit.
It's a bit. So in a matter.
I don't envy at all. In that
I know. In a matter of law, what would have been the right approach in dealing with this? What appears to be a doubt in the process of the case and clearing it before the appeal is heard. If you were the president, would you remove Marietta Brewer Appear on the basis of this allegation, or you will go ahead and investigate before the appeal case is heard?
Oh, the appeal has got nothing to do with this particular allegation. I don't think the appeal has anything to do with it. The procedure rules have time limitations within which to file an appeal, and the state has filed the appeal. I mean, it doesn't matter if it is a Brew who happened to find herself there. No, I mean, if she is removed today, are you saying that the court cannot proceed?
But Woyome's lawyers actually believe it is, and they describe the Attorney General in pursuing this case as wearing a biased lens and cannot be seen to be pursuing this matter.
It doesn't mean that at all.
I see.
Mean, she herself has not mounted any prosecution. She's doing it on behalf of the state, mind you.
Yeah.
And she, as an individual, is not leading it. I, as Attorney General, remember leading a prosecution against somebody in this country. I went myself. She has been there, but I think the DPP and other attorneys who have been doing this case. It's not the lady herself who has been handling the matter. She is not. So I'm saying that the office of the Attorney General can be disaggregated completely from what is happening. I mean, the Attorney General Department has gone to court, they've done a case. I don't think it would, I mean, it's just an embarrassment that is bringing on the lady. It does not mean that the appeal cannot proceed. Far from that. I don't see it happening. How? We have had an appeal against her.
And she has said...
You are saying because I have something to do, am I the judge who delivered the judgment? Mine is that I'm dissatisfied and I agree with the judgment that has been delivered by a judge, not me. I've not delivered any judgment. So it has no bearing as far as I'm concerned.
I see.
It's only a huge embarrassment on the lady.
I see. So what would you advise her to do in this matter?
Oh, no, I won't. I say that I don't envy the position in which she finds herself. I don't envy that one at all. But let her fight her fight, because you said she spoke without temper.
Yes.
And that she found nothing wrong with it. So that is her position. Why should I advise her? She has advised herself already.
Right. So let me also ask you if you would advise, what action you would advise the president to take in this matter?
The president must investigate. I mean, no doubt the president ought to investigate the allegations to find out whether she is the best person to lead the attack. And the fact that she is the Attorney General, as I already pointed out, does not mean that she is doing the prosecution. It is the director of public prosecution doing the matter, the case. And even if she's not there, the matter will still proceed.
Right, former Attorney General Ayiko Otu, we're grateful for your time on today's big story. So if you've thank you very much. So if you've just joined us, the top story for today is the fact that businessman Alfred Woyome is demanding that the Attorney General Maretta Brew Apia steps aside, resigns completely from the case against her. He claims that a law firm, Letha Brew & Co., in which the Attorney General is a partner, demanded $1 million from Woyome after he secured a judgment debt of $51 million, on which basis he believes that Maretta Brew is wearing a biased lens and cannot continue to pursue this criminal case against her, a judgment debt which she benefited from. This is today's big story. We'll be back with more. Right, welcome to today's big story. If you've just joined us, the appeal against Woyome has taken a different twist as he claims the Attorney General has no moral basis to pursue him for a judgment debt in which she is a beneficiary. Joy News editor Israel Lai you went to the Attorney General's office to have an interview with him. Tell me exactly what her responses have been towards this huge allegation that she benefited $1 million from proceeds of this judgment debt.
She appeared very unfazed about all that's going on. She sees this as probably some red herring that's been thrown into the works, spanner that's been thrown into the works to try and distract her from
pursuing
because she says that if you look at when Alfred Woyome decided to put out this thing, this was after he had been served the notice of appeal, and so she strongly believes that this is something that a spanner that's been thrown into the works, and she believes she would deal with this very soon, and she will go ahead and pursue the case. She doesn't intend to resign. Says there's no way she's going to resign over this because one of the strong points that is being made in the petition put together by Alfred Woyome is that she's found herself somehow in a conflict of interest situation. Now, the Attorney General goes on to say that there is no way you can say that there's a conflict of interest situation in this matter. And she goes on to explain. She says, they've represented, they have been to court in cases where Woyome was involved. And in all 4 instances they've been to court, they're either the plaintiffs against Woyome being the defendant, or they are the defendants against Woyome being the plaintiff. And so with that, you can't say that there was a conflict of interest. She says,
did she deny knowledge of this $1 million? I mean, I'm sure that many people will be interested in whether her firm took $1 million as part of the clients, representing the clients for the $51 million.
That point came up. She goes on to say that, in fact, at the time the monies were paid, that $1 million were paid, it had nothing to do with the judgment debt at all. She says that Woyome actually owed their client.
I see.
And so their client demanded those monies, and it was...
And it's totally irrespective of the $51 million. The state is pursuing.
As far as she is concerned, it has nothing to do with the $51.2 million.
But the impression created by these letters suggests that that $1 million is more like their share of the $51 million.
But she goes on to say that there's nothing of that sort of thing. She actually goes on to say that if you look at the letters and the court cases that the evidence that Alfred Woyome attached, it's clear from those court documents that clearly it had nothing to do with it. So she refers to, and again there was one other instance where she says, Woyome, dealing with Austro Invest, she says her partner at the time, Tony Letha, actually filed a notice of discontinuance. She said when the case came up, they were involved, the partners, the client was trying to retrieve these monies from Alfred Woyome. And Tony Letha in his capacity as lawyers for those clients, when Austro Invest told the clients that they wouldn't advise that the clients go ahead to want to retrieve part of those monies because they, in their opinion, felt that those monies were acquired fraudulently or there were some issues regarding those monies. So that was as close as they got to taking, as close as her firm got to trying to take part of those monies. But she said it's contained here, Austria Invest Management Limited versus Alfred Woyome, and he goes on to say, notice of discontinuance. It says, take notice that plaintiff hereby discontinues this suit with liberty to reapply, dated at Lethal Brew and Company, this 27th day of January 2012.
Right, Israel, we're grateful for your time on today's Big Story.
But we'll be bringing you the entire interview on Joy News at 8.
So Joy News Prime.
Joy News Prime.
Right, so Israel, we're grateful for your time. Now, Abraham Amaliba is a legal practitioner. He's joining us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to your viewers.
We tried to get you into the studio, but we heard that you were caught up in traffic and couldn't join us.
Yes, I had to come all the way from Dodo thereabouts.
That's right. So quickly, we don't have a lot of time, but you have heard, I'm sure, the issues that are in circulation with Woyome demanding that Madame Marietta Brew Appiah excuses herself to pursue the appeal against her. Do you feel that he has made enough grounds or made a stronger case for her to recuse herself?
I think it's a diversionary tactic on the part of Alfred Woyome. She cites that the Attorney General benefited from the money paid, but the evidence does not support that. Indeed, the Attorney General, when she was a practicing lawyer as a private legal practitioner, represented Ray Smith, who is the director in Empower Park, as against Woyome. It's not as if the Attorney General in private practice who represented Woyome for you to have been talking about conflict of interest. No.
Right.
She actually represented Ray Smith, who is the director of Empower Park, as against Woyome. Now, what happened there was that Woyome then had to pay some money to Ray Smith. And I don't know whether you have the checks before you. The checks indicate that Woyome paid the money directly into the name of Ray Smith and his wife. So I don't understand where Woyome is coming from saying that the law firm benefited from the 51 million. I think it's a diversionary tactic.
Right.
And I don't think that we should accept that.
Right, Ms. Amaliba, I'm afraid that we got you late in the program, so we'll speak to you another time. Thank you very much. So let's get the reaction from the AG. We have that coming in now.
Well, of course, when my PAs see important email, they scan and send it to me. So I was out of the office when I received an email from one of my PAs attaching this letter at about, I think, 11:30.
Today?
Today.
And what was your first reaction when you saw it?
Well, of course, I mean, we are human. When I saw it, I was quite upset. And then, of course, I gathered my wits around me and decided, let me look at what this gentleman is saying.
What was it that upset you about it?
His claim that my firm and our clients received approximately $1 million equivalent in Ghana cedis from the said judgment debt. That upsets me because it's complete falsehood. And he himself has attached the documentation that show that it is false.
Well, so we'll bring you more of this on Joy News Prime. My name is Stephen Enti, and that's how we wrap on today's Big Story. We'll be right back with an interactive segment. Do stay.